The world abounds in change through man's ability.
I feel like if you give somebody mono in a way other than making out with them, you should be legally obligated to at least offer to make out with them if they want to. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You skipped a part.
So yeah, there was her, and then there was our friend who was like, yeah, I'll show you my boobs. But she was drunk every time. Like, I can't be that sleazeball. I should have just been that sleazeball.
You should have just been that sleazeball.
Yeah.
I'd have been that sleazeball.
I should have just been that sleazeball about it.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I'd have been that sleazeball every time, and look where I ended up.
I got a reanimator laser disc. I'm doing just
I
fine.
got a
He's like-
reanimator laser disc and a Vectrex.
Getting laid tonight, and it doesn't even cost me $250.
No, it does.
Oh, it does.
Hey, honey. You don't get to call me honey. Let me see the money.
It's like $50, little man. Put that money in my hand.
Doug's paying off that reanimator laser disc and Vectrex.
You want to call me honey? I'm gonna need to see that money.
Yeah. That'd be smart. Casey's like, yeah, you can buy some of this weird shit. You gotta pay me for sex. You're like, damn, I want that laser disc.
I really want the laser disc. I want those Necrogoblicon records. People do, though. So, I only heard about Necrogoblicon because Josh sent us a message saying that they were partnering with Torchbearer
Yeah.
to create a hot sauce. And I'm like, well, that sounds like exactly the kind of band I would listen to. So I listened to them, and they were.
And see, I would have thought that you'd already known about them because they had like one video that everyone saw because of how crazy it was.
Huh. Anyway, though, like, I might have seen it and just didn't remember what they were. Maybe it just wasn't a very memorable song. Because I'm not a huge fan of all their songs. But, so, I like them enough that I was like, well, I want to get their records on vinyl. No. The original pressings of those records are up in the, like, $200-300 range.
Really?
They're going for, like, fucking horror punk record prices. Which is insane for a band that, like,
It's crazy.
has a little bit more mainstream appeal. I think the first pressings were probably just more limited, and that's probably why, but they have repressed them since then. Those are the ones I'm buying.
I got a new Crimson Ghost record.
How is it?
That's good. I like it. But I got the vinyl.
Yeah.
Them boys are appreciative.
Yeah.
Like,
I got,
free merch and shit?
for $40, I got the record. I got signed 4 signed postcards of one of each of the band members, a signed poster, a letter, like a little, note written in German to English, which is hilarious. And the record actually comes with like a fucking 15-page booklet and shit. It's like, these boys
I'm gonna start tearing up over here.
These boys can put together a record.
With gratitude.
Where'd you order that from?
From them.
Okay.
I mean, it was like $40 with the German shipping from Germany. But
Shipping from Germany is expensive.
Yeah. I was like, damn, boys,
Yeah.
y'all can throw in
Oh.
autograph poster.
Bet
too,
they can
that's
throw
it.
down, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, autograph
Would you get into a
poster.
knife fight if you were on the Crimson Ghost side?
Would I back them up?
Sure.
I don't want to get in a knife.
I was gonna say I wouldn't get into the fight,
I
but
bet
I'd
they get in a
stand
knife
behind
fight.
them.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
slap
yeah.
them.
That's exactly. I would be rooting for them.
I don't really know where I was going with that.
I remember when we were leaving the tryouts and shows. Like I went up because their singer was there, and I was like, look, man, I love your band. You guys put out so many good records. I just want to say it was awesome hearing you up there. He's like, oh, thank you so much. He's like shaking my hand. He's giving me his fucking life story. And I'm like, dude, I gotta go to Pennsylvania.
I gotta go. It's been a long weekend.
I just cut him off. I'm like, my back fucking hurts. I gotta go home.
Oh god, I think we were all hurting.
That was so.
That sucked. I mean, the show was great.
That's
and
why
it
I
was fun
said
hanging out
when
with
they were
everybody.
announced to play the Trioxin 2 that didn't happen, I was like, they're totally coming over here because Josh nagged him.
I was gonna say, he wrote that letter to you because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, Pennsylvania, this must be that guy who I didn't get to finish telling my fucking life story to. You're the only person that got a 15-page book.
They made a 15-page booklet for you.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's funny because I got a thing on the door that said, you weren't here to sign for this. It'll be available on the 30th for pickup. I was like, the fuck it did I order? And it's like a bunch of letters that I can't make a word out of. And I'm like, what the hell did I order? And I'm like, and I'm looking at PayPal, and there was like something on there for $40. And I was like, that seems like something I've ordered. But it was when I was staying at Mom's after she got out of the hospital. So I was like, what would I have ordered when I was there? Like, weird. And then I was like, I forget when it jumped in my. I was just standing there looking at the paper like 4 days later, and I was like, oh, that's in German.
He flew all the way over here to hand deliver it.
And I didn't answer I was home too.
You know, he just stood there for like 2 hours waiting. All right, guess it's not there.
He's totally fine with it. Like, he's a little disappointed, but he's not mad.
I'm gonna fly home and come back next week. Try again.
Speaking of things that are appreciated in value, or we weren't speaking of things that are appreciated in value. You said that they were appreciative, but
That word.
also
Speaking of that word.
we got to that though from talking about horror punk records getting really expensive, which they do, but I recently was watching a video on YouTube where the guy was talking about how the like PS Vita store was going to be shut down, and he's like, a lot of these games never got published anywhere else, and there's no physical version of them, but like the physical versions of Vita games are gonna just get more expensive
because a lot of them were limited run to begin with. That's kind of where they cut their teeth.
So so the guy was like, it's gonna the Vita library is gonna continue to get more expensive, and it's already expensive. And I'm like, well, shit, how expensive is it? Because I have a small collection of Vita games on the shelf. I don't know how many I have, but it's just this little, just that there on the bottom. You see that, Josh?
Yeah.
Teeny tiny little section. About 10 DVDs worth.
$700.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I have a copy of Shovel Knight for Vita, which I bought because who the fuck knows why. I might have got it from, it is limited run. I might have gotten it from them, and then like right after that, they put out Shovel Knight on a different system that I actually wanted it for. So I never opened it. So I have a sealed copy of Shovel Knight for Vita. It's like $150 now.
Damn.
For Shovel Knight, a game that everybody has on at least one other system other than Vita.
It's like fucking Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim at this point.
It's on
everywhere.
everything, and everybody has it.
Yeah.
It's been in Humble Bundles,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like, you have the game already. There's no need to spend $150 on a copy of it for Vita, but people do. And there's a Silent Hill game for Vita, which is not good. It's not like any other Silent Hill game. It's not fun, in my opinion. Like, it's not good for any reason other than that it says Silent Hill on the cover. And that one is opened because I did play it. And that one's like over $100, I think, for an open copy. Not all of them are that expensive, but like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think I only ever had 2 or 3 Vita games because I bought it after piracy had matured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that Vita, but it came with a busted screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was the end of me owning a Vita very quickly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Guess we haven't podcasted since my irrational.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I got a little irrational a couple weeks back. There's a game that came out recently.
Keep in mind you're talking to a humanist.
Yeah, you may agree. A game came out recently. Maybe you heard of it. Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Took the day off work to play it
Okay.
on release day. I never buy games over. I 2 or 3 games a year I get on release day. This was one. Really excited for it. Fallen Order, the first game, plays beautifully on PC. All the pre-release influencers played it on PC. Perfect. PC release comes out, fucking trash. Absolute garbage. So I had the game I tried it on 2 systems. 2 computers. And it played trash no matter what I did to the settings. So I got my refund and I was like, well, fuck, I'm off today. And I was like...
I had no plans other than to play
all
Star
I
Wars.
wanted to do was play this goddamn game. And then I was like, wait a minute. How much can I sell 2 PlayStation 4s for? And associated
Do you
blah
have
blah.
2 extra PlayStation 4s, or is that
No,
you have 2 of them?
I
and
have
you're just like,
2
fuck
of
it?
them.
You have a PS5.
Not yet.
Ah.
That's where the story's going.
Okay.
Because
Sorry to steal your
I
thunder
did some
there.
quick math and I said, okay, I can go get the game and a PS5 and only be out like $100. I wanted to wait a little bit before
Well, the
upgrading.
game itself is like 70,
70,
right?
yeah.
So only an extra $30 on top of what
So
you
I was
already
like,
paid, and you get a PS5 out of the deal.
God damn it, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I went out and I got the Target had a thing where you could get the PS5 with the God of War Ragnarok game. The game was free as part of it, so I try to wait until a price drop. Is that going to happen with this gen? I don't know. Not anytime soon. And I try to wait till there's at least more than one game that I want to play for it.
Yeah. Buying a system for one game feels...
This is like the Spider-Man game that's coming out I want to get because I really love the other 2. And that's going to be exclusive, so I was like, fuck it, fine, I'm doing it.
If there were some games that I was actually interested in playing for a PS5, I'd go for it. Same with an Xbox One X, actually.
I'd
love to have one. They're cool, but I'd actually probably rather have the Xbox One X or Xbox Series X.
I don't know. Series,
yeah. I'd rather have that, I think, than the PS5, just because I don't like the design of the PS5.
Oh, it's atrocious. Yeah, it's fucking atrocious.
It's a monstrosity.
The controller's really cool. The haptic.
Yeah.
The triggers that push back.
Mm-hmm.
It's really neat. And the packing game, the Astrobot game.
Yeah, I heard that was
fucking cool.
I heard it was the best game on the system.
It's
for a
fantastic.
Long time.
Yeah, it's just there to teach you how to use the controller and shit. They did a really good job.
I'm trying to blow this off to the side.
It came right into
I'm
the
blowing into a fan. Okay.
So yeah, I got a little irrational that day.
I just paid $70 for a new game for the first time when Tears of the Kingdom came out.
Yeah, that hurt too because that came out 2 weeks later.
I haven't played it myself yet. Casey's been playing it and I've just been watching. She got really into Breath of the Wild as well. Seems like if you played Breath of the Wild and you really like it, but you wish you had different powers.
Yes.
This is your game.
So that was my first reaction, was like, I didn't really want to play this game again.
Yeah. It is definitely different enough.
I like the story better.
Yeah.
Dungeons are still meh. I don't like that dungeon design.
Rather go back to the old school Zelda style dungeons.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Same.
I love that. I really got hooked into exploring the underground.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fucking neat. I wish it was.
See, Josh, you could be participating here if you played Zelda.
I'm good.
God damn it.
And the core thing
I'm
about
gonna sell Breath of the Wild, actually.
God damn it.
I wonder if it still goes. Well, it's a Nintendo game, so probably.
Yeah, they don't depreciate.
Yeah,
too
no,
much.
you're gonna be able to get at least 60 for it. Did you open it?
Yeah.
It's not sealed.
Taste
No. I did have to taste it.
You could probably get 40. I think that's what because I got it used when I bought it, because I held off on the Switch and I played Breath of the Wild first on Wii U. The core wow factor of
$40.
of Tears of the Kingdom, of hey, you can build fucking cool shit. I'm like, that's not for me. I don't really want to. I want to explore and fight
I want to
shit.
play Zelda, not the Incredible Machine.
I don't want to build shit. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of what scares me off Fallout 4. I don't want to do the base building shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I played Minecraft. If I want to build shit, I'll go back and play Minecraft.
I don't remember how. I think there was some base defense things in Fallout 4. I remember I had to defend my gas station from a bunch of super mutants.
And that was required?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell in those games.
Yeah. I never finished Fallout 4.
I've been a Fallout fan since Fallout 1, and I've not played more than an hour of Fallout 4.
I put in. I think I have 60 some hours in it. I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, man, I wish this was Fallout New Vegas the whole time.
Yeah. Fallout New Vegas was just recently free.
Yeah.
I know we all own that game already, but
yeah, I had a conversation about that with a coworker. He sent a thing on Discord. Hey, it's free. I was like, does anybody not have it? I was like, that's like Frampton Comes Alive. Everybody has it.
Not everyone.
You don't have New Vegas?
No, I don't have Frampton Comes Alive.
Oh, okay.
I think I bought New Vegas day one back in the day.
I don't think I played any of the DLC, which I heard was fantastic.
I've definitely done the DLC for New Vegas.
I know I played the first one, The Pit. I fucked
Mm.
around in there, but the rest of them I heard were great, and I was like, maybe I should do that sometime.
I enjoyed all of New Vegas.
Yeah.
It was.
I loved it. The
Yeah.
actual game was fantastic.
New Vegas is the only game that I would say is better than Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's like New Vegas 2, 1, 3 for me.
See, 3 is my pinnacle
Yeah?
of Fallout, yeah. Because
Three's really good.
3 was a game I did not think I'd like. Because when that came out, everyone was fucking talking about Fallout 3. And I'm like, I don't really care about go around and shoot monster games.
Yeah.
But everyone was fucking talking about it. Ken had finished it, so I was like, alright, I'll trade you this for this.
Skate 2.
Skate 2. And I don't think we ever traded games back.
I still have Skate 2.
So I remember being like, hey, the DLC's coming out. Do you want this back? And you were like, no, I don't need it back yet. So I was like, alright, I'll buy DLC for a game I don't actually own.
Damn.
It's just kind of how
took
it went.
Mass Effect back from me as soon as the DLC came
Oh,
out.
really? Did I?
Yeah, you were letting me borrow the first game.
I might have had it on PC by the time that rolled around.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
You were like, I need that back. The DLC's coming out. And I'm like, alright. You just really like this fucking game.
Yeah.
I never finished that series.
I was telling someone about it the other day. I was just like, Fallout 3 came out, and I did not expect to like it.
Yeah.
And it became a game that, like, I'd wake up, I'd play it, I'd go to work and think about playing it. I'd come home and play it. I would dream about it, and then I'd wake up and play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just got, like, so sucked into that world.
Yeah. I think.
Had such an excellent soundtrack, too.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah. Did you ever play the original games?
No.
Like the old computer games? So did you?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not much.
I've always kind of thought that the reason that I liked New Vegas so much more than 3 is just because it was made by the same team that
Right.
made 1 and 2.
Okay.
And so it kind of brought back the, like, vibe
Yep.
of 1 and 2, but with 3's engine. And, I mean, honestly, 3 was a fantastic game. So, like, to improve on that's really impressive. But, yeah, I always kind of figured it was just because of that. Because there's nothing really wrong with 3.
3 was like an Elder Scrolls game with a new coat of paint at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like a lot of the reviews were like, it's great,
But it's
but
an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, it doesn't
funny.
have the core like story style as the old Fallout games. So much so that it's more like, hey, we did open world. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I feel like I remember some criticism like that.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I think of Fallout 3 in the same kind of way I think of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because it like brought that franchise into like an open world kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, Fallout 3 was a way better game than GTA 3.
I never played a GTA game prior to 3, so
Oh, really?
3 might be my favorite of that trilogy.
Really?
It might be.
Oh.
I played...
Maybe Vice City. I don't know. Vice City was really good. I had a lot of fun with Vice City.
Lubes introduced me to GTA.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember going over to his house back when we were in, like... I don't even remember what grade. Like, we're talking, like, elementary school, though. Maybe middle school. No, probably elementary school. Like, 5th grade, maybe. But I remember going over there and just fucking mowing shit down in that top-down
Yeah.
universe. that was, like, something insane to see
Yeah.
back then.
And the little digital blood splatters all over the place. It was cool. I think I'd have to say that this is a weird thing to say. I think my favorite GTA game is Vice City Stories.
Really?
Because it's Vice City, but it incorporates a lot of the engine upgrades that were in San Andreas.
Oh, really? I had that at some point.
I don't think that it has like stamina meters or anything like that, but it's like, I think you can swim.
Mhm.
You don't just automatically die if you go in water, which is a huge plus when you're in Miami.
Yeah.
I loved San Andreas, but I did not like the turf war missions.
Yeah, that is what I didn't like.
That was my big like thing against San Andreas. That's why I wouldn't call it my favorite. Because it had like the perfect vibe. It had the perfect soundtrack. You had several different areas that like really set the tone for everything. But when you're all the way over in like the San Francisco equivalent, and you get a notification like your map starts blinking red, that you got to get all the way back across that map to fight a fucking gang war over like one shitty ass block.
Yeah. I quit the gang, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing a plane.
you could not possibly make it back there in time, and then before you know it, like all your territory is turning red again. It's like, what the fuck? I do not enjoy this part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, let me fucking relegate like turf war to my soldiers or something. I don't know. If I'm there and I could jump in, awesome. If not, don't fucking ruin everything
Yeah,
I
like-
did.
I've
Make
got
you
the
do it.
worst gang members ever if they need me for everything.
Yeah, really. Like, they should be autonomous to an
That's-
extent.
Did you guys play any Saints Row?
A little bit.
The first one had a similar thing, but I think you could like delegate.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, that would have been a reasonable ask. If they're going to have something like that in the game, make you do it once or twice.
Yeah.
But other than that, like,
Yeah.
make it optional. It does seem like a lot of really great games, like almost all of them, have at least one thing about them that you're like, God, I really actually hate this part of this game.
Mm-hmm. The fucking RC missions in Vice City.
Mhm.
The boat race missions in Vice City. In Bainbridge. Y'all racing boats?
I remember in Saints Row. I remember I played through the whole thing. I have two things in memory about it. Second one, I rented from Blockbuster, and it red ringed my first Xbox 360. And the other thing, other than completing the game, the other thing I remember from the first one is the Wendy's equivalent was named Freckle Bitches. And every time I see Wendy's, I hate Freckle Bitches.
No, I
Fucked up. She's an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
I really hated that GTA 5 never came out with like any DLC.
It was all online stuff.
Yeah, they just went all into online, which, you know, that's where they're making their money, but oh my
They didn't
god,
do
like,
any DLC.
no.
There was like 3 different major DLCs for 4, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I know
And
there was the
they're like-
biker one.
there's
gay
Biker, there was
guy,
Gay Tony.
Gay Tony.
I don't know if there was another one,
Those are the two that I remember.
but both of those are pretty good.
Yeah.
I
I didn't like GTA 4 in general, so
yeah.
I
I
won't
didn't
comment
finish that
further
one.
on
Yeah, I
it.
didn't finish that one.
I finished it, but their DLCs were much better than the actual game. And I thought like GTA 5 had a pretty fun story. Like, I mean that was when they first did like multi characters and everything.
5 was pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm. I never finished it.
I finished it. It took a while. I know it. I went back to it after we bought the house, and I finished it there at some point. But that was pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Death Stranding. I hate the part where you walk around and deliver packages. Actually, no. My favorite thing about that game is that it's about walking around and delivering packages. It is literally a walking simulator. You have to manage to walk to your destination and deliver a package. I hated the combat. If there was no combat in that game whatsoever, 10 out of 10.
That's how I'm playing fucking Tears of the Kingdom. I'm having more fun just figuring out how to get somewhere.
That's what Casey's been doing.
Yeah,
too.
it's
she's just going around getting the towers when she sees them and
it's
stuff
just
like that.
fun trying to figure it out. I don't I don't really want to learn how to build a boat right now. Fucking game.
Hey, Death
Honestly-
Stranding was recently free on Epic. Too.
I have it. Yeah.
When I was
Very
playing
much.
Red Dead 2, that's what I liked about it. I just liked going and doing like the outside world stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then you'd get real pissed off because suddenly you had a bunch of like gangs riding up on you to jump you, or you had some fucking zombie people running out of the woods to get you, or it was just like,
Can't you just leave me in peace?
yeah, you were suddenly just annoyed by all the extra shit they threw at you to like try and make the game less boring. And it's
If
like,
I wanted people to not just let me live, I would just live my real life.
right?
I should go back and try to finish that. Although
I thought about it.
I don't know how far I got, one way or the other, but it's probably hard to pick back up.
Zach just bought that. He was telling me that he started playing it the other day. He was looking for a game to buy, and I was like, yeah, you know, I liked it, but sometimes you just want to chill, and the game doesn't always just
Yeah.
let you chill. And then, you know, I kind of saw where the story was heading, I was like, oh, that's fucking depressing.
Yeah, because it's a
I'd-
fucking prequel
Yeah,
to the first game.
it's like, oh well, guess who's not around in the second game?
Yeah.
Guess who's obviously getting sick?
I really thought the zombie expansion for the first one was a really fun idea. And I started it, and I think I defended my house, and then I was like, shit, I already got like 70 hours in this game. I don't really want to play it anymore. Even if this seems like a cool idea.
I made sure when I finally like bought like a physical copy of that game to get the one that comes with the zombie DLC. But I've never played it.
Yeah.
I played the game, but I never played the DLC. I didn't finish the game either.
I beat that. I know I beat the game.
I think I beat Red Dead Revolver
Mm-hmm.
for the original Xbox. I think. I don't remember if I finished it. That was a hard game.
I think I messed around with it. I don't think I don't think I ever.
You want to talk about buying a video game system for one game? When KOTOR came out,
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's time to get an Xbox. I was riding one of my coworkers so hard for getting an Xbox the entire time that system existed until KOTOR came out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, guess I'm buying one. And then that Xbox died. Like, it wasn't just an Xbox 360 thing. They have had hardware issues like every time they put out a system.
I essentially bought the PS5 for Elder Scrolls Online, which worked perfectly fine on PS4. But I was like, all right, faster load times on the PS5. It'll play smoother. I'll be able to parse higher, and I was able to do all that stuff. But I didn't really play another fucking game on it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And now that I'm finally not playing ESO as much, I'm going back and like, I went and played like Horizon Zero Dawn the other day. Like I finished up that DLC fucking 5 years after it came out.
Right.
And I'm playing shit that doesn't need to be played on a PS5, like Spiritfarer.
So you're basically like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Was it just
No,
because I
I
was
mean-
tired of replacing DualShock 4s?
But now I'm replacing DualShock 5s.
So I don't know if there's anything in the works for the DualShock 5. Is it still stick drift is the issue?
Yeah.
So there is a project in the works to make an easy to install kit to replace the joysticks in a DualShock 4 with Hall effect joysticks. And it's going to be like $30 for a pair of them.
Nice.
So like for a whole controller mod. I think I'm going to mod all of my DualShock 4s. I have one controller with Hall effect joysticks and it's fucking amazing. So just don't try to use it on a Mac.
I don't regret the PS5 though. It's a fun system.
I imagine like at least navigating the menus is very snappy.
Yeah. The menu sucks compared to like the PS4 though.
Really?
Yeah, it's confusing. It's weird.
That's disappointing.
They took away themes and like customization and everything, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Why would they do that? They did so well with it on previous systems.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I have enough horsepower to get PC games, but it seems like it's getting worse, not better.
Yeah.
The PC releases for stuff, so
Oh, they're just honestly, yeah, because most games are for PC are ports of console games now.
Yeah,
It's
like-
the opposite of what it used to be.
yeah. So, oh well, I'm safe in a way, you know. I can just wait to find out. Hey, does this suck on PC or?
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky with my build for my current PC. I've had it for quite a while. I'm still running a 1060 video card. And we're like, how many generations past that now? 3?
We're up to the 4s. 460 is what's like
So,
out, brand new now.
so there's been a lot that's come since then. And obviously I wasn't going to buy one during like the pandemic because the prices were fucking crazy. But But like honestly, I'll load up Doom Eternal, which admittedly is not the newest game, but like it runs great.
I love that game so much. Eternal was so good.
Just the fucking cutscene in the beginning of the game where you see the gigantic pentagram burned into the surface of the earth. Like,
it's so goddamn
that
cool.
was the most metal thing I've ever seen in my life.
The game is
And I've been
it's headbanging.
I've been to a
in the
Judas
video.
Priest concert.
Right.
It wasn't as metal as that cutscene.
Oh, that game is so good.
I have seen Lordy in person. Also typo negative, but they
I
were
watched a
good.
video today. There's a dude on YouTube, something punk rock MBA.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's really annoying.
Oh, I know
I don't
that
like
guy.
his because none of his videos are really about punk rock, which annoys me. But it recommended a video about Tool. I was like, all right, fine. What's this about?
Like a video essay kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah, like where he goes over it.
A brief history of
It was
Tool.
like the point of his video was like, oh, why do people love Tool like they do? Why are people obsessed with Tool?
Okay.
And the video was just their history, really. It wasn't very good. But there was one thing he mentioned. He was like,
You're like, I didn't like the video, but it recommended this Tool video, which I also didn't
yeah.
like.
He just one phrase thing caught my ear. He was like, he was like, and I don't even want to get into the whole diaper thing. And I was like, pardon? Let's see what this is about. And I guess on Reddit, somebody like posted, some Redditor was like, hey, any of you Tool fans wearing a diaper to the show? And his picture of this dude wearing a diaper. It became like like a meme among Tool fans. And it
I'd
was like,
never heard of that.
it was just a dude wearing a diaper.
He was just like, you know what? I love Tool and I love wearing
I don't know.
diapers. Let's combine my interests. I'm gonna make everybody at the concert feel weird
I
with my
didn't like.
fetish.
I didn't read into it at all. I don't know if he was like, "Hey, I have a medical condition. I need to wear a diaper, and I thought there'd be more people with my condition. I'm sorry there aren't."
No, he didn't want to miss the 47-minute
Yeah,
bass solo
or
that
if it was
resembles
like-
the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, or if it was that. Hey, I just, I don't want to be caught in the bathroom.
Oh, you just described Tool.
Yeah, I guess it's like a. People pay like almost like $10,000 for their custom drum heads.
Tool does custom drum heads.
That they sell for a couple thousand at their shows, and their fans buy them and then like flip them to collectors.
How much? Do you know how much they cost at the show?
Like $500 to $1,000.
That's insane.
what I
And
was
then they
seeing on
flip
this
it for
video.
like 10
Yeah.
times the money.
Yeah,
Well, guess we're going to a Tool show.
I know. I was like, shit. I don't like this band at all, but Doug and I are pretty good at finding getting our hands on rare shit.
Look, I like Tool. I don't like their last couple albums all that much, but I like older Tool because it's angrier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I liked, I think, Undertow and Anima.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Those are solid records.
Lateralus wasn't terrible either. I didn't like that.
I wasn't into that one.
Yeah,
I think that one just came out too late for me to actually care about it.
fair enough. Kind of in the same camp.
Yeah.
Like, I eventually came around on it, but
They
only
had
because I
they had a
listened to
song
it.
that said something German.
The Eye of on Satan?
Yeah, and it was a cookie recipe.
It's just a recipe. It's a
Egg,
recipe
is
for
it?
scrambled eggs, I think.
Okay. No, I probably would have never clicked on it, but it reminded me of my manager when he found out I liked alternative music. We'll say he was like, "All right, oh man, are you in for the new?"
Alternative
He was
music.
like, "Are you excited for the new Tool record?" I was like, "Oh
Oh.
man, I'm gonna." How do I diplomatically say this to my new manager at the time? like Brand, like I just
Oh, you
accepted
can't
the
just
position.
you can't just come out and say you don't like Tool.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just like,
man.
I was like,
You put me in a real awkward
I
spot.
think
boss.
I was like, they're good. I was like, but I like punk rock. Their songs are way too long for me. I don't have that kind of attention span.
Fairly
which is
good way to
true.
look at it, yeah.
I have a hard time finding, like, common musical ground with people.
Mhm.
Like, even people nowadays who tell me they're into punk, It's like, well, what do you mean by that? It's not the stuff that like we
it's
searched
not,
out.
This is not the circle jerks. Like, yeah, I humor him.
Yeah, it's weird trying to like some of the people I play like ESO and Smite with. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know, Josh listens to punk. He probably knows about these bands, and like there's some Slipknot skins in Smite.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh, wow.
what do you think of these skins? I'm like, dude, I fucking
not for me, man.
like I don't have anything against Slipknot. I listened to one of their records way back when, but I was never like a Slipknot fan. I just kind of know about them. He's like, but that's like the heavy stuff. It's like,
I really like
Yeah, I
Corey
guess.
Taylor in those In Search of Darkness documentaries about 80s horror. That's about as good as I can go with Slipknot.
I like Slipknot.
Mhm.
I've seen them live. They were fucking boss, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like actively seek out their music
That's-
often.
yeah, it's. And then when people ask you like what bands you like, and you're like, oh, this one, they're like, I have heard of none of them. It's like, I did not expect you to.
yeah, exactly. I like every time I'm around like Jamie and her kids, they like to show me that the kids like these bands that I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's like going to Hot Topic nowadays.
well,
You look
like,
at the T-shirts and you're like, this half I know.
yeah,
No
like,
idea what's going on over
yeah,
here.
like their dad is into like Black Label Society and that kind of like hard rock kind of stuff,
Okay.
and I don't know any music of what they're. But I'm just like, oh, great. And Dee's like, you have no idea what they're talking about.
This thought just popped into my head. You could probably go to Hot Topic right now and buy a Seven Dust T-shirt.
I saw them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't look happy about it.
Like you,
I didn't like any
like you
part of
saw
that
them like 25 years ago, or you saw them like 2 weeks ago
No.
at the winery or something.
That's a winery.
Probably like 50.
I'd go to that show.
Listen, all those bands
Yeah.
are like playing the winery.
Yeah, the Hershey Winery.
They
They're
really
the
are.
modern version of Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's amazing.
And it's so weird to like realize that, but like the people who grew up on like 90s grunge and 90s alternative, they're the people going to the winery now.
Yeah.
So like the winery's like, let's bring in fucking Bush and the Goo Goo Dolls. Let's see if Fuel will play a show. And Fuel's like, yeah, let me ask if we can get the day off from the winery to play the winery.
I'd enjoy a wine tasting with Gavin Rossdale. Won't lie.
When Jamie first started dating Dawn, he would go in, like, we'd talk about old Metallica, and I'm like, okay, I can humor this guy about old Metallica, sure. And he was like, do you like Black Label Society? I was like, sure.
We'll go with yes.
Well, and then they bought me a ticket to their show, and I was like,
Oh.
Now I have to go see Black Label Society. Were you going with them? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
No, they just sent him alone.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, here, we bought you a ticket. Have fun.
Oh man, I would flip that shit outside the show so quick. I'll just wander around fucking Baltimore on my own.
Oh, man.
Which I would rather
feel
do
bad,
than go
yes.
see the Black
Yeah.
Label.
Black
Society.
Label and Seven Dust.
That was the show?
Oh man.
Ooh boy,
I just got a little bit.
it was a rough stand.
Got a little knot in my tummy
that
when
was
you
rough.
said that. So, speaking of having difficulty connecting with people musically, when you said that, a story popped into my head that I'm not actually sure I even told you guys. Did I tell you about the cam model with the T-shirt? I didn't.
No.
I don't think so.
I really don't think I did. So,
Talk about plenty without t-shirts.
So I'm on one of the cam sites. Don't want to speculate which one.
Yeah, they're not sponsoring us. They're not getting us our rub maps.
Chatterbait, you send me $300, I'll say it was you.
Yeah, it's up for grabs.
Yep. This slot is open. So I'm like, going around, dipping into people's rooms, seeing what's going on, like you do. And I went into this girl's room, and she's just like chilling in her apartment listening to music. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And she's listening to some like, I don't remember who it was. And it was punk, but it was like one of those bands that people who used to listen to them got into like the 2000s pop punk that became emo.
Like a Sum 41 kind of thing?
Yeah, but like they abandoned that band as soon as they actually found like actual emo bands.
Okay.
One of those kind of bands, the gateway bands
Sure.
into the scene.
Like a Paramore.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
something like that. But probably harder than Paramore. But she was wearing a Creature Feature T-shirt, like the band Creature Feature.
Psychobilly band?
I wouldn't call them psychobilly. They're
Probably never listened to them because I thought they were psychobilly. They're probably good, awesome.
they're weird, creepy circus music.
Mikey just gritting his teeth right now.
I'll have to play you a snippet when we're done here. But I like Creature Feature. I've only ever really gotten into their first album, but I like that album a lot. I think they've had several since. But so I was like, oh my god, do you like Creature Feature? I've never met anybody who's ever listened to Creature Feature before. And she's like, oh, I found this at a thrift store. And it took all that I had not to be like, you lucky fucking bitch. Where do you go to the thrift store? But I was like, oh my god, like, where was the thrift store? And she's like, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I guess that is the kind of thing you might find in just, like, New York somewhere.
Right.
I can't comprehend the idea of finding a Creature Feature T-shirt at a thrift store.
It's like finding a Ghoul Town shirt somewhere. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did this get anywhere?
Oh my god, it's a Rosedale's T-shirt.
In my head, she put a Creature Feature song on and was like, ooh, and took the shirt off.
Yeah.
Which, on one hand, you want to be like, oh, fuck yeah. But on the other hand, you're like, oh, now I'm just repulsed by her.
Oh man, I just got a great idea, but I can't tell you guys about it because I want to surprise you with it next week. I bet you'll guess what it is before next week.
Doug's going to make a hidden shirt and put on Blind Dad and say, ew!
I mean, the first part's right. I don't know about the rest. That got weird. What would I say? Ew.
So you can take the shirt off.
Yeah, pop your titties.
Okay. I mean, if you guys want to see my titties, that's fine. We don't need to make a production
I'll
out
watch
of
a Doug
it.
titty drop.
For those of you at home who don't have video, we don't do a video podcast.
Speaking of, I went to the strip club recently. This guy was barking at the stripper.
Like a dog?
Yep.
Was he removed?
Was he DMX?
He's dead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea if he was slow or drunk or what the hell was going on there. Maybe he thought he was being flattering, but he's like throwing his $1 bill and just howling.
Wow.
Don't like Thin Mints?
I do.
Just watching your
I ate
cards.
a lot of shit today. I'm very bad today.
Highly recommend these. They have them at Costco.
Oh, you can get Girl Scout Thin Mints at Costco.
They're Thin Mint pretzels.
Yeah, I see that.
So I had a doctor trip a couple weeks ago. Well, I've been trying to make sense of everything going wrong with me because no one else fucking can. Like, I told you guys I thought I had bed bugs for a minute because I fucking bumps just popping up all over me. And it's still happening, but after 3 months, I'm like, okay, if I had bed bugs, I'd fucking see them by now. I've had 3 fucking exterminators out to look at the place, and they're like, dude, I don't know what's biting you, but you've got nothing, and if you had something, you would see, like, at least signs.
Yeah.
So it's like, alright, I've moved past that bit of insanity onto, like, what inside of my body is making my skin do this. And I had, like, these black marks on my nails. And I knew they'd been there for a couple months. So I finally just Googled it. And they're splinter hemorrhages. And, like, the leading cause of splinter hemorrhages outside of, like, stubbing your toe is fucking infective endocarditis. Which...
Wait. So the diagnosis for this is either stubbing your toe or something that sounds like that?
Basically.
What is that?
It's an infection of your, like, inner heart tissue. Like, bacterial, it turns into, like, fucking vegetation in there, basically. And it's highly fucking deadly.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh shit.
How fast is it supposed to kill you, though?
Some people, like, if it's acute, it'll set in over a period of days.
Wow.
And if it's subacute, I guess it is, it takes months to really do anything. Yeah, subacute. But I'm like, okay, so what causes this?
Well, I mean, this has been going on for a long time now, though.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
The big things that cause it are, like, if you already had, like, a heart valve replaced, it makes you more susceptible to the infection. If you are an IV drug user, it makes you super susceptible to the infection. Or if you've had, like, staph infections and it gets into the blood. So I'm like, oh shit. I've got these marks in my nails, and I've had, like, 2 staph infections in the last 5 months. I'm going to go to the doctor.
No.
I go to the doctor. It's like, why are you here? I'm like, I have splinter hemorrhages in a couple of my nails, and I wanted you to take a look at them, because I've also had... And he's like, you don't have splinter hemorrhages. I'm like, no, look. And he looks at my foot, and he's like, yeah, they're not splinter hemorrhages. If you had splinter hemorrhages, your nail would be broken, which is bullshit. That's not a splinter hemorrhage. And I'm really wondering, like, is there some, like, really bad language barrier between us? After all this time, I'm finally wondering, like, is this why, like, we mesh so poorly? Like, do we just not understand what we're trying to tell each other?
Like, just constantly talking past each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you don't have that. And I'm like, well, what is causing this? He's like, I don't know. I'm just a family doctor. I don't really have knowledge out of, like, the things you're asking me.
Now we're getting somewhere.
And I'm like, oh, so could you refer me to someone who does? And he's like, I can do that, but I think you might have Munchausen's.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, that's not something that you want your doctor to say to you.
Yeah, so that's going to be in my fucking chart now, and anywhere I go, people are going to be like, oh, this guy just makes it all up. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm coming here fucking...
I mean, you're documenting it.
So, I had a dermatologist appointment scheduled for a couple days later. And I went there. And while I was there, you know, it was for, like, unregulated. That's not the word I was looking for.
Unregulated roller derby.
Oh, no.
Unrelated. It's for unrelated shit. But while I was there, he was like, so is there anything else? I was like, alright.
Never had a doctor ask me that.
Let me run this past you, because I showed this to my doctor the other day, and he blew me off. Said, I don't know what I'm talking about. Said, I have Munchausen's. Do you see splinter hemorrhages in my nails? And he's like, alright. Gets his fucking scope out. He's like, yeah, you got some in that one, that one, that one. You got some in your fingernails. It's like, okay. So why? And he's like, well, sometimes doctors are just wrong.
Sometimes doctors are fucking idiots,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm like, so what should I do? And he's like, well, I don't think you have to worry about heart infection because you probably have fever. Like, okay, so
That does make sense.
he's like, you probably just like stub them, like all of them,
Like all of your toes and some of your fingers.
right?
Like I was just walking on my hands one day and
Just like walking around kicking shit. So it's like, yeah, well, I don't really know what to tell you, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. It's like, well, all right, at least he verified what I thought. And, like, a couple days before, I forget what brought it up, but our one friend, Sierra, is like a heart doctor now, and she just joined our group chat. So, like, the health stuff came up. I was just telling him, like, oh, yeah, like, I have no fucking clue why my inside... Oh, no, I had a real bad anxiety attack the one night. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night, like, the same shit I went to the hospital for back in, like, December, I think it was. So I was just laying there for, like, 4 hours trying to, like, chill the fuck out. And then I had another one the next night. And I was just in the chat, I'm like... I cannot fucking get any sleep because I keep having panic attacks in the middle of the night. I'm worried it's my fucking heart again. So she was like, oh, well, do you have, like, your blood tests or these tests or these tests? And, you know, I started sending her shit because I'd just gone to see the doctor about the splinter hemorrhages. And she was like, why didn't they refer you to a cardiologist last year? I was like, oh, I don't know. When I got out of the hospital last year, I even asked my doctor, I was like, should I go to a cardiologist for this? And he was like, no, don't gotta worry about that. So she was like, no, yeah, you should tell him that your friend who's a cardiologist thinks you should really be referred to a cardiologist in the state. So it's like, okay. And basically, like...
Like, it's serious enough that even if it's not the thing, you want to check.
Yeah, like... I have left ventricle hypertrophy, I think it's called. And that's just, you know, from high blood pressure over the years. The shit fucking gets harder than it should be. But the, like, it still works as well as it's supposed to.
Okay.
So it turns out that's why my doctor didn't, like, send me right off. Like, this is what the cardiologist told me. But yeah, so she's telling me that shit. She's like, they should really refer you to that. Get checked out, you know, do the follow-up on all this stuff. Because the way the rest of your body is working, it could have progressed to something that could actually, like, not be pumping enough blood to your other organs to make them work properly. So I'm like, okay, go to the cardiologist. And that's where that happened. I went to the cardiologist Friday, I think it was, and, you know, he explained things to me. It's like, well, yeah, you know, it wasn't necessary, I think he said, but he's like, it is good to get here, like, for the problems you're having now and everything, like, keep up on it. Like, they probably should have done the follow-up EKG, not EKG, echo, just to, like, make sure everything's okay. So yeah, now I have a cardiologist, and I've got to go back for, like, a stress test and another echo.
Those are great.
Oh.
Get on that treadmill, baby. Daddy, sorry.
I don't wanna...
I am so after my mom's recent issues, I've seen it firsthand. I'm not a fan of that health system whatsoever.
Really?
She got discharged and got yeah, they give you paperwork and these are your follow-up appointments. Make a follow-up with your doctor. It was her stomach, so it was like, GI will contact you. It took us almost 3 weeks to get them to call us back to set up a follow-up. Like, she had major surgery on her stomach, and the follow-up like we went. I took her to her normal doctor's appointment. Went in with her, and that normal doctor was like, "Let me put in a referral for you, so they let them be annoyed with me and not you. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll help."
No, it's
Wow.
Now, maybe the only thing she had to do was go home and heal,
mm,
but we didn't know that. Nobody said that.
yeah.
Nobody told us
Yeah.
that. And when she was in the hospital, they got her blood pressure, because she had as listeners, my mom had a stomach ulcer that was bleeding really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Blood pressure dropped. Had a lot of trouble getting her blood pressure back up. Surgeries and everything, and then they got her settled. But they got her up and sitting in the chair, and they were like, "Okay, you're out. Like, go." Like, so I went and picked her up, and at no point did they see if she had been laying for a week at that point.
Yeah.
No, didn't get her. They got her to walk across her room. We got home and she was partially scared, but also partially her legs were so weak. Getting up the stairs was a problem. It's did nobody see that you can walk?
So did you just have to basically do physical therapy for her?
Well, Shay and I, she had to relearn how to move in a way. So kind of,
Yeah.
So we.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, they just kind of said, "All right, you're good, go." And then there was a follow-up thing where "Hey, you're a senior citizen, so you said you live alone. We have a service where we can have food delivered." And she was like, "Okay, that'll be great. I'm on a special diet anyways."
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks before that
Nothing.
even happened. Before she what the fuck? Why even bother with that?
I wish I could say that's just like UPMC. That's Hershey Med too.
Really?
Yeah. When my dad had to go to Hershey Med for something, it turned into a big turf war over is he supposed to be there or UPMC, and
No.
Hershey dicked him around with everything they were doing, and I think I really do think it's just all of them, because post-COVID so many people just fucking quit.
That's the thing. Post-COVID is not. I can't. I know Hershey pre-COVID with Dee's Heart was fantastic,
Yeah.
but this is the first real thing I've dealt with post-COVID.
So I got scheduled for something at Hershey Med, which just goes to say. But and it was some of the shit that my doctor told me I got Munchausen's for, because he doesn't know about that. So I was send me to someone who does. And he referred me to immunology and allergies, I think is their department. So Hershey finally called me yesterday, which was a whole 3 weeks later. Maybe a month later at this point. I don't know. It's been a while. Hershey finally called me, and they were like, "Yeah, so we don't have anything until March of 2024. Do you still want to get scheduled?" And I'm not going to be a dick to the people who I have to trust to take care of me.
Yeah.
But there was really this just fucking absolutely fighting, well, how else am I going to be fucking seen if you don't schedule me?
Yeah. Oh,
No,
it's gonna take a
just
while.
just don't fucking schedule me, and
Yeah,
I'm sure the
screw it.
results will be the same.
Yeah. And I work for a different.
Sorry. I have to get this out, because that's such a weird thing for them to say. That it feels like they've been instructed to try to discourage.
Yeah,
people
Yeah.
yeah,
from
it
making an
does.
appointment.
Absolutely right. It does.
10 months, man. 10 months down the line. Yeah, do you still want to even fucking bother? Well, I don't have much choice, do I?
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, I work for a competing health, and I don't know where I work if it's any better or worse. I really don't. So I can't even recommend it, because I don't I don't get insurance through my work because I work for a hospital and my wife isn't in union. So guess what? She gets better insurance.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Supreme Court doesn't like that, apparently.
No.
You heard about that ruling today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's better or worse. I really don't.
I have no faith in any medical system right now. Like, after the Munchausen shit, I was like, all right, this guy's not going to be my doctor anymore. Called several places. Called places where people had told me, like, this guy is accepting new patients. I talked with him. I said, I have a friend who's not happy with his doctor. Are you accepting new patients? My dad talked to his doctors, like, my son's not happy with his doctor. Are you accepting new patients? All these people are like, yeah, we're accepting new patients. You call to schedule the appointment. They're like, okay, what's your name? Date of birth? It's like, well, I'm not in the system because I'm a new patient. And immediately they're like, oh, yeah, we're not accepting new patients right now. It's like, no, it's okay because, like, this person had talked to this doctor specifically, and they told them they'd be fine taking me on as a patient. I'm like, well, no, that's not in our computer. They're marked as not accepting new patients.
Why are they telling people that they're taking new patients?
I have no idea.
Like, they just, like,
Like, oh, we have room for one new patient.
We're paying a
Get in
receptionist.
quick.
We have to have phone calls for them to answer.
This is like 3 places right now.
That's ridiculous.
And what can you do but try? Keep trying.
Yeah.
Something. Jeez.
You know what's fucked up, too? I was on, of all fucking places, don't go to Quora anymore. You know the site Quora?
Yeah.
Don't bother. It's a fucking wasteland. It's like Twitter, but question and answer format. And like half of the questions are just conservatives trying to rag on the libs who run Quora, even though most of the questions on Quora are from them.
Wait, are they like asking questions to try
Well,
to
you have to ask a question. That's how you post something, or answer a question. It's one or the other. So they are asking questions, and one of the questions that I saw recently was there was a quote at the beginning of it, which was, "In America you pay with bankruptcy, in Canada you pay with your life." And it says, "What are some of your best stories about waiting for help for free, in scare quotes, healthcare in Canada?" And there are hundreds of answers to this question, and every single goddamn one of them is a Canadian citizen saying, I had a medical emergency, I was seen immediately, and it cost me not one penny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or my mother had a condition, it wasn't immediately life-threatening, so we did have to wait 2 weeks to see the doctor and get it taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
2 weeks? 10 months.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
fuck. And we pay through the nose for it. And it's not even good care.
No, it's terrible.
The dermatologist I went to, like, I was originally told to go see them when I was having like a staph infection shit back in December. You know, the guy at the hospital was like, I'm going to tell you to go to like Holy Spirit or Penn State or whatever, you know, over here. So I had called them and I've been like, hey, I was at the hospital and they told me to make an appointment with you guys about this stuff. And they're like, oh, but we don't have a referral in the system from them, so we're not seeing anyone until like October, I think it was. So that was like 10 months down the line at the time.
Yeah.
And when I'd seen my doctor like last month maybe, I'd been like, hey, when I was at the hospital back in December, they wanted me to go to this dermatologist. Can you put in a referral? Because they won't schedule me until way down the line without it. So he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. They called me back like the next week. And like, all right, we can get you in like 2 weeks. It's like, well, goddamn, what? So you had the spots open, and you're just like, nope.
Yeah.
If you don't have a referral, we're not going to see you for 10 months.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I have no idea.
I think it's probably because a lot of people's insurance doesn't cover specialist visits if you don't have a referral.
Yeah.
Makes
and then
sense.
They will just stick them on the bill.
That is how mine works.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They just don't trust that you're going to pay them, which is completely fucked up.
Yeah.
Unethical and probably illegal
Should not
on
be.
some level.
Yeah. Should not be the determination of the scheduler. That should be with your billing department to sort out, no matter what.
Yeah, and also like you're just gonna refuse somebody treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're just gonna be like, no, because we don't think we're gonna make any money off of you.
Mm-hmm.
This is why healthcare should not be a for-profit system. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry. What the? I had a friend on a Discord server that I'm on with like our D&D crew and stuff, who said that her doctor told her that she didn't believe that migraines were real. Didn't think that there was any such thing as a migraine. Oh, I can buy medicine for it at the CVS, but fuck me, right?
Yeah.
It's not a real thing. And it's like I sat there and thought about that for a while, and eventually was just like, this is why education also needs to be affordable. We need more doctors so that the sheer percentage of doctors that aren't idiots will be enough to fill all the slots for doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because, goddamn, some of them are so fucking stupid. Like, I don't know how you... Like, I don't know how you got through high school, let alone medical school.
I mean, doctors, man, it's... I really don't... Like, when I was at the cardiologist, he was like, I see you have anxiety disorder in here. Are you taking anything? I'm like, no, my doctor won't prescribe anything. It's like, but it's in here. I'm like, yeah, but he says no wife, no kids, no anxiety. And he just kind of looked flabbergasted. He's like, I'm not going to comment on that.
Are you sure you're seeing a real doctor?
Yeah.
It's like several things where he's like scratches his head. He's like, that doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
Here's the fuck thing too. Like, you're trying to get a new doctor, but like, you're in a like, it shouldn't be hard for you to be like,
There's other doctors.
different doctor,
Yeah.
same system. You're still getting my money. This guy just isn't for me. Like,
Yeah. This guy shouldn't be practicing
yeah,
medicine.
this guy should not. No wife, no kids, no anxiety.
God damn.
No,
So
our
not
friend who was a
going-
cardiologist was like, you have to leave this guy because he's either going to kill you or make the rest of your life very miserable.
Yeah.
Not gonna say told you so. You know that we told you so.
I mean,
but I'm just glad that you're not gonna see him anymore.
you did, but also like I tried to leave him before,
Yeah.
and everywhere I went was like, yeah, 6 months, 9 months.
And all your stuff was so
Yeah.
fucking happening at the time. It was like, can I get
Yeah.
shitty care or no care?
Yeah, right.
So it's like, what the? How can I fucking get out of this situation when you guys won't actually like let me into any other situations?
Yeah.
And then you just hear everyone else's stories. Like, nobody I know really has good doctor stories. Like, it all turns down like, yeah, my doctor's kind of an idiot and just guesses things. And then I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm just a racist asshole lost behind the language barrier.
No, there's shitty doctors and then there's shitty doctors, but there are also a lot of both.
Yeah, it's... And now it's like, when everything's going wrong, I'm like, well, he can't answer why. And I asked to get sent to a specialist, and he's like, fine, but you got Munchausen's. Like, well, I don't want to go back and ask to get sent to a specialist, because you're going to be like, this guy's probably making things up. But humor him anyway. Or don't. Like it...
How much of a hassle is it to get something like that removed from your record?
I have no idea.
Because, like, there are doctors who give bad diagnoses all the time.
Yeah.
And once they put that on your file, you're kind of just fucked.
Because I've even thought about like scheduling appointments within the practice to like go to another doctor and be like, so can I get a second opinion on this? But they're going to be like, all right, and pull up the records and see. I discuss Munchausen's with the patient, but he doesn't think he has
Here's
it.
the only thing with that, though. It can't just be you.
I don't know, man. He's got fucking glowing reviews from
Really?
everyone on all the doctor review sites.
I just think if I work side by side with somebody that's fucking aloof,
Yeah, right.
and I went and saw a patient, and they were like, "Yeah, that guy's fucking out there," you would think they would be like, "Yeah, I think so too." Like, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, no clue. No fucking clue.
I know that it's not a thing that we usually get political on this podcast, but like this shit's not political anymore. It's not a political thing. It's really fucked up and it's hurting people.
Well,
You got any jokes? Of the
we always shoot some bleach in our assholes.
We got Florida?
We do.
Oh, doggy.
Spock, take a look at this subspace news article. Some fool blew his own face off while cleaning a loaded phaser. Fascinating, Captain. Was it someone aboard the Enterprise? No, Spock, it happened in Florida.
We got Florida, Mississippi, and Maryland.
Do we remember who the champ is?
It is you.
Is it?
It is
Okay.
you.
All right. Florida, Mississippi, Maryland.
Headline number 1.
Right.
Man wields AR-15 by school bus stop to protest gun laws.
To protest what?
Gun laws.
They probably weren't happening in his state. Gun laws in fucking Vermont.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be Vermont. That's not on the list.
Yeah, true.
That reminds me, Rob
Maryland.
works for like an e-bike company. So he deals with emails from people all the time, and he's been corresponding with some old lady up in Vermont. But at the end of every one of her emails, her like signature is from like the great state of Vermont, where we're not all Bernie loving nutbags or something. Like socialist Bernie loving.
Well, thanks for
nutbags.
ruining Vermont for me.
And Rob's like, I really want to close my emails with from Florida, where we're not all conservative pieces of shit.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't fly with management, but he
Like,
can't get us a discount on e-bikes, can he? Sorry,
Maybe
e-biker
in
gang.
Florida. We might have to ride them back up.
Oh, they're e-bikes. You don't have to pedal. Just take the speed limiter off them. You can go on the highway.
Headline
I'll
number
send
2.
we'll get a sidecar for one of them.
Hell yeah.
We'll get a 2-person e-bike with a sidecar.
There's no way that would work.
Headline number 2. Man tells police he broke into house to hide from a ghost.
I like that story. That one makes me happy.
That's the most wholesome one we've had.
Be
On a playground over there.
Be a
Scared
better-
shit out of me.
better story if police was like, oh shit, and they hid too.
The police immediately went in and started barricading the doors and windows.
Oh, and in the culmination of police and guns, headline number 3.
Oh no.
11-year-old who called the police to save his mother from
Oh,
domestic
it's
abuse is
heartbreaking.
shot by a responding officer.
There you go.
11-year-old.
Yeah, he called the cops and got shot.
11.
Yup.
Yep.
DMK?
Fucking ACAB.
Phantasm dwarfs are real, though. You never know anything that short. You gotta shoot it. Jesus.
No, they're not. That's just in the movie.
I gotta change my answers.
Name that Florida DMK.
Fuck me. God damn it. Okay. Well, I think Florida is that last one. And I think it's because if it weren't for Florida's laws requiring that police reports be public information in Florida, I don't think we would have gotten that whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I'll put the dude breaking into the house to escape a ghost in, what was it, Maryland and Mississippi?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll put that in Mississippi, and then I'll put the, what was the other depressing one? Oh, the gun law guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put that in Maryland.
I'll put gun law guy in Florida, the little kid in Maryland, and the ghost in Mississippi.
We're both putting the ghost in
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
That sounds like a book title.
The Ghost in Mississippi.
Well, gentlemen, the two of you collectively got one right.
Was it a Florida?
It was not.
Oh,
So our winner and still champion, going 1 and 2,
it doesn't feel good to hold on to it
No.
this
the
way.
Dollar Menu Kid.
Which one did you get? I guess the...
Florida was the ghost.
Yeah.
Mississippi was the 11-year-old. And Maryland was the AR-15.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that we got that much of the story out of Mississippi.
He's a black kid. He's black.
Yeah, they figured no one's going to care.
Very, very surprised.
Very
that we got that
Mississippi of
much.
them.
Fuck me.
Isn't that one of the worst, lowest educated states?
Yeah.
I think I saw it was a black officer that shot him, too.
They probably were like calling people, how do we cover this up, by the time we got out.
I think
The intent was there.
I think Mississippi might actually have one of the highest percentages of black
Yeah, I think
citizens
so.
too.
Well, in celebration of Pride, gentlemen, I have a joke of the week.
Oh, goody! It's my favorite part of the show, the joke of the week.
What do you call the line at a gay bar?
This isn't going to be a hate crime, is it?
No, we got those out of the way with
Yeah.
Florida. What do you call the line at a gay bar?
I don't think I have anything for this.
It's too clever for me, I'm sure.
That would be an LGBTQ.
Fuck me. That's good.
Joke of the week,
good.
everybody.
That's good.
What? I don't get it.
The Q.
Cute.
Oh,
Standing in the queue.
Got it. Okay. All right, that is good.
Yeah, I got
My
my
dumb
cases
ass
out.
got it. Now it's explained to me.
Joke of the week, everybody.
Oh.
We'll see you next time.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.